Prince Andrew. Another balls up. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Prince Andrew isn't as prominent these days because he's retreated from public view as a consequence of the fact that he's been something of a pariah following the allegations put forward by Virginia Giuffre and his overall boorish response to that, particularly the car crash interview that he did with Emily Maitlis, which has been the basis of not one, but two serializations thereafter. We have another example of the way that Prince Andrew's narcissism causes him to repeatedly balls things up. He doesn't operate with a facade, as I've explained previously. He's an upper lesser type B. He's a bully, he's brash, he's belligerent. He belittles people, he tells them that it's his way or they can hit the highway. He wants it now, and that he's superior to you, and you should do what he says just because. This is a man that embodies arrogance, a man who is haughty and dismissive, who is well known for his temper and boorish attitude, and the fact, like many narcissists, that he thinks that he knows it all and that he knows better than everybody else. And this fallibility of him as a narcissist is demonstrated by the fact that a report has appeared in the Times newspaper by David Brown, which shows just how Prince Andrew's pursuit of certain interests, driven of course by his narcissism seeking the prime aims, has led him to mess up again by way of collateral consequence. The report explains Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, appointed an alleged Chinese spy as his business advisor. Oh dear. And promised gain, links to the heart of the royal family in an apparently serious breach of national security. Once again, Andy putting forward his own interests and bugger the consequences for anybody else, because he has no sense of accountability and no emotional empathy for anybody else affected. Prince Andrew and the alleged spy became so close that he was invited to the Duke's birthday party and into the royal estate at Windsor. He was authorised to act on Andrew's behalf to seek investors in China. Just demonstrates that, of course, a narcissist can have their pants pulled down because of their narrow-minded approach. The alleged spy had a briefing document in which Andrew appeared to be described as being in a desperate situation and will grab onto anything. One of Andrew's closest advisors told the alleged spy, "You sit at the very top of a tree that many, many people would like to be on." Coterie, remember, buttering him up on behalf of Prince Andrew. MI5 discovered that the businessman, aged 50, was a member of the Chinese Communist Party and was working for its United Front Work Department, which gathers intelligence, the Special Immigration Appeals Commission heard. Details of the alleged espionage plot emerged after a ban on the businessman entering the United Kingdom on national security grounds was upheld following his appeal to the Commission. The hearing was told that the contents of the businessman's mobile phone were downloaded when he was stopped at the border under counter-terrorism laws in 2021. The phone contained various texts from Prince Andrew sending pictures of Fergie's freckly bangers. No, that wasn't actually true. The phone contained a letter from Dominic Hampshire, a senior advisor to Andrew, dated March 2021 and referring to the alleged spy having been invited to the Duke's birthday party that month. It stated, "I also hope that it is clear to you where you sit with my principal and indeed his family. You should never underestimate the strength of that relationship. Outside of his closest internal confidants, you sit at the very top of a tree that many, many people would like to be on." And there is a picture of Prince Andrew with the Chinese spy, although I have to say that the Chinese spy is a funny-looking fellow, as he's clearly walked straight out of Minecraft. The letter added that following a meeting with Andrew, they had wisely navigated our way around former private secretaries, and we found a way to carefully remove those people who we don't completely trust. This just shows the idiocy of the way that Andrew's coterie operates by saying we've removed those that we don't trust and we're placing trust in somebody we ought not to trust. Under your guidance, we found a way to get the relevant people unnoticed in and out of the house in Windsor. Another letter from Hampshire, dated October 2022, confirmed that the businessman was authorised to act on behalf of the Duke in talking to potential partners and investors in China for an international financial initiative known as the Eurasia Fund. Judge Charles Bourne said in the ruling that the business won a significant degree, one would say an unusual degree, of trust from a senior member of the royal family who was prepared to enter into business activities with him. And this is demonstrative of the way that Andrew, because his own interests come first and foremost, that he engages in activity which has a collateral consequence for others. He basically cuddles up with a Chinese spy, not realizing what he's doing, nor in relation to the consequences that will come from that. The judge added, this occurred in a context where, as the contemporaneous documents record, the Duke was under considerable pressure and could be expected to value the applicant's loyal support. It is obvious that the pressures on the Duke could make him vulnerable to the misuse of that sort of influence. The businessman's phone was also found to include a document from August 2021 headed Main Talking Points for a call with Andrew. It stated, important, manage expectations, really important to not set too high expectations. He is in a desperate situation and will grab onto anything. Thus, this spy had the measure of Andrew, clearly seeking to exploit his desperation at the time. The phone also included a letter addressed to the Beijing United Front Work Department and a text message introducing the businessman as an overseas representative of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. The Immigration Commission was told the businessman had not provided a full and open account of his relationship with the Duke, which had a covert and clandestine element. He was also accused of having downplayed his links with the work department, which, combined with his relationship with the Duke, represented a threat to national security. The businessman worked as a civil servant in China until he came to London to study in 2002. He then took a master's degree in public administration and public policy at York University, and in 2005 founded a company that advises British firms on China. He was given indefinite leave to remain in 2013. He was an honorary member of the 48 Group Club, which is a number of prominent figures of members, which could be leveraged for political interference purposes by China, the Commission was told. Its patrons include dozens of senior politicians, including Sir Tony Blair. There's no suggestion any were involved with the alleged spy. The businessman was taken off a flight from Beijing to London in February last year and told the Home Secretary was about to ban him. MI5 has warned of political interference by China, which it says is mounting patient, well-funded, deceptive campaigns to buy and exert influence. And the dimwit that is Prince Andrew has fallen straight into that trap because of his desperation to assert control over people, draw fuel, and, of course, most of all, make money, that residual benefit. It made him susceptible to the overtures that were exhibited by this Chinese spy. And once again, it shows that because he's focused on the moment, because he doesn't undertake any consideration of the ramifications of the people that he gets involved with, for instance, have we had any other examples of that previously? What about Jeffrey Epstein? This, once again, demonstrates another balls up for Prince Andrew, driven by his narcissism. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.